What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. Come on in, you guys. I actually have this banner up. It says one o'clock, but it should have said 1:30. So I apologize that I had that time up wrong, but it is a 1:30 start, and I see you guys are coming in. So if you can hear the sound of my voice, go ahead and drop your city in the chat. I see Yvette is coming in from Los Angeles. What is up, Yvette? Excuse me. Got tongue tied there. Let's put your name up just to make sure I can see you guys. Okay. Hey, Jesse, Gloria, what's up from STL? Hey, Philadelphia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, you guys. Let's see. Ooh, you guys are coming up fast. Philadelphia, Louisiana, Columbus, Georgia, Delaware, River Rouge, Michigan, I believe it's pronounced. Detroit, St. Louis again, St. Gabriel, Louisiana, Dallas, Bronx, New York City, Houston, what's up, Flint, California, Midland, Glenville, Hinesville. Okay, y'all are floating. I see Nashville, Tennessee. What is come on in? Come on in, Cassie, Wyoming. I see Canada is in the house. Welcome. Okay, guys. Love to see all of you coming in from all over. I got 102 of you watching right now. Go ahead and hit the like button on your way in, please, and thank you. I don't ask for a whole lot, but if you guys can hit the like button, it really helps with getting the information or getting YouTube to pick it up in the algorithm. YouTube really makes us work to get our videos shown, okay? What's up, Linda Gamble? Anyone that you see with a purple wrench or highlighted in like a purple blue with a wrench behind their name, they are mods and they are here to make sure that you have a good time in the chat. So she will be doing that. Y'all can say whatever you want, just, don't curse each other out and, be cool about using, slurs and stuff like that because people get offended. But keep coming in, keep hitting the like button. Thank you very much. And we're going to get it cracking in just a minute. I've never seen Owings Mills, Maryland before. So welcome, Cochran, Georgia, Trinidad and Tobago. Look at, got to get my mouth to work. Okay, Seattle is in the house. What's up? Come on in, everybody. And we are about to get it started. I got 116 of you watching right now. I appreciate everybody who shows up for me. I tell you guys this all the time. I appreciate every single one of you for rocking with me. Okay, and I do. All right, so New York is still in the house. All right, so let me make sure I'm on camera. Got my hat on. I got my David Bowie shirt on today. So what is up? What is up? Okay, y'all, we are about to get it cracking. Listen, there's a lot that has been happening in the news. More Shirley Strawberry audio from her estranged husband has dropped. Y'all know that as early as I believe late June, early July, they had the court case. Her husband had the court case where it was a bond hearing. And she had wrote a letter saying that he was welcome to come back to her house or any house that he choose. She was vouching for him. Then she did the radio show where she said, the things that's going on is horrific. And that at that point in time, he was her estranged husband who she was, moving forward with divorce proceedings from. All of these tapes and audio is dropping still. And people are saying a whole bunch of different things about Shirley's participation in it. I actually did a video, I believe, on Saturday where I said, I used the term romance scammers. Last year in 2022, $1.3 billion was scammed out of people who were seeking love from people, and they called it romance scammers. So 1.3 billion is significant. I think in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, they said it was somewhere around, it was a much lower number in regards to what was reported. It was somewhere like, I don't know, maybe like $70,000 they said was reported, like stolen from romance scammers. And then in 2022, 1.3 billion. The jump is huge, even though I'm sure that number doesn't represent everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because people get embarrassed. You don't want to let people know your business like that unless you're talking huge numbers. So I gave you guys a name. I think it was Anne Hathaway. She got stole, I think, $2.4 million literally taken from her bank account. And then recently I read, and I put some video on my Facebook and on my Instagram. Y'all know Jennifer Lewis from Blackish, the grandma from Blackish. Jennifer Lewis is hilarious, and she says what she feels, what she thinks. She's a very intelligent woman, but she's very honest as well. She tells everyone that she has bipolar, that she has been in therapy forever, and that she has things under control. And she is very much a person who stands on her word, and she wants to get information out there. And I love that about her, because we learn as humans, we learn from our mistakes or from other people's mistakes, period. So when someone's willing to be honest about it, it can really save lives. But she talked about a guy by the name of Tony Marriott. I think he's born Antonio Wilson, but he had like over 50 something aliases. Anyway, he stole 50,000 from her. That's what she said. 50,000 from her. She was engaged to that man. She was engaged to be married to him. And if it wasn't for her manager, who was like, there's something wrong with you. Like, you're not who you are with us normally, who I've known you for years to be. And I have that video on my Facebook page right now if you guys want to go look at it. But she said that she was like in the pool. She had been dating this guy for a couple of months. They had bumped into each other at like Planet Fitness or one of those, exercise places. And she said, he didn't bump into her by chance. He had been studying her and like paying attention to her. He said he researched everything she's ever said or done on the internet. And then when he came to her, she was like, oh my God, this guy knows so much about me. He must have been like heaven sent. She was like, the reason why she got took is because she literally thought in her head, never in a million years would she be so silly or so stupid to be taken by a scammer. And I'm telling you right now, most of us think that way, right? Like most of us think we are smarter than the scammer. But she said that this man had been in jail since he was 15 years old. She said that in and out of prison, she said that she met him when he had just been released, like the week before. And he told her he went to Oxford. Turned out he was in prison the entire time. And she wasn't the only one. He had many victims. And I think the total was somewhere near $5 million that he had scammed out of people, mostly Hollywood folks. So anywho, I just wanted to put that out there because I keep listening to these phone calls. What is up, everybody? Thank y'all for coming in. I hope you are hitting the like. Cookie from the Shy and Linda Gamble are our moderators for this afternoon. I appreciate you guys every time you show up. Go ahead and hit the like button. Keep hitting that thumbs up. I have 229 of you watching. At least that's what it says. 229 of you are watching, but only 113 of you have hit the like. Please hit the like, okay? I did a lot of research for you guys today, so I want to make sure that this gets out to people. Anywho, thank you, Linda, for putting that up there. Anywho, you guys, she said that she realized that she had been scammed. He was asking her for money, and then he told her to put gift in the line, in that little memo line on the check. And so when she went to make a report, the police said, ain't nothing we can do. It says right here on the check, gift. You can't, just change the subject now. So for 5 years, Jennifer Lewis paid out of her own pockets for a private detective to follow that man until she got what she needed to take him to jail. Basically, other victims, were involved. And so they all got together to bring him to jail. She said that the judge was only going to give him 4 years, but she read one of those victim statements, and she said because of her victim statement, the judge realized exactly how severe it was and ended up giving him 8.5 years in prison. And she said she ain't done with him. She said she still has more. If you guys want to watch the story, it is on American Greed. I think it is season 15, episode 11. Season 15, episode 11, American Greed. I ended up paying for that little episode. But if you guys have like NBC, you can go and, check it up on the old files. But anywho, It was an amazing story. Um, Again, just listening to some of the things that Ernesto was saying online just the other day to Sonia, when she was talking about who knew what and all this other stuff. He asked Shirley to go pick up his truck, the truck that was confiscated by the police. And Shirley said she wasn't willing to do it. She was afraid to do it. She was afraid that they were going to bring her in and ask her other questions. And she said she just didn't want to deal with it because she was afraid how it was going to affect her as a public figure and affect her job. So she didn't want to do it. And then when he was talking to Sonia about it, Sonia was like, "Well, she's afraid of what they're going to ask her." And he said, "Shirley doesn't know any of my mother business." Um, so for everybody who's like, how much does Shirley knew? It sounds like he's saying I was playing Shirley, because sometimes he let things pour out of his mouth without thinking about it too much. But he literally said she doesn't know any of my fucking business, and I was like, well, okay. And you can tell that they're coming from two different places. Also, there was some pictures released from Ernesto's IG page where he showed that Erica King, his partner in crime, okay, he's helped him with some things, and also was in jail but got a bond. She sat at the dinner table right beside Shirley, and a lot of people are saying, "Shirley, how didn't you know?" But y'all remember, Erica King also goes by many aliases, and her photo from her jail photo looks nothing like, very little like, the picture where she was much thinner. She just had a different face altogether. Her altogether. I'm not going to make fun of people. I don't know if she has something else going on, but yeah, child, I agree with you, child. Demetria Dean said, "Wow, low down dirty dog," and you are correct. Basically, the calls that is coming out now very much sounds like Shirley is on the other side of things. Like, the person that knows his business is the woman named Sonia. That's who he's confiding all of his stuff into, and who he's really hoping gets him out of his situation, gets him a bond anyway. He just doesn't believe that Shirley can help. In fact, the very last phone call that dropped last night, he blamed Shirley for the reason why he was in jail for so long. He said it's because of who I'm married to. And if I was married to some random everyday, person, he said, I would have gotten a bond and been out already, but they're trying to basically, it sounds like, make an example out of him. And Sonia was like, well, they haven't even put her name in the paper. In fact, when someone, made the request or something online saying, is this person, is Ernesto Shirley Strawberry's husband? They said no. So as of right now, you still have, or Shirley still has anonymity, like people don't know who she is. But he was like, she absolutely is the reason I'm in jail, and she knows it too. It was pretty dirty, y'all. It's pretty dirty. But anyways, it sounds like more people are involved. What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for coming in. Go ahead and hit that like button as you come in. I'm going to drop the link in a little bit, but I just want to give y'all this is basically an open panel. 172 of you have hit the like button. 312 of you are watching. Keep hitting the like button until the number of people watching matches the number of likes. Those thumbs that you see right there, okay? Hit the thumbs up, please. On your way in, on your way out, just hit it. Anywho, Linda said that she heard that Shirley is working for the Popo. Well, child, I don't know. I don't believe that's something she could release, but it's possible at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. I just want for people to keep in mind, we all think, that we could never be scammed. But I'm telling you, as somebody who has been scammed, okay, not by a love interest though, it was just, people that you partner with in business, but literally it can fuck your whole mind up. I can't stress that enough. We have certain, truths that we hold about ourselves. I'm using a destiny line that we hold about ourselves, and we think that we're smart. We think that we know that we're a good judge of character, all of those things. And when we find out that someone has flipped our world upside down, has tricked us, it really makes you lose your sense of self. Like, everything you thought you knew about you from the time you was born on up, it gets turned upside down. It takes a long time and sometimes even therapy for you to start feeling like yourself again. I think actually Jennifer Lewis explained it best. She said her personal space, her life, her mind, she said it felt like she was hit by a tsunami. She said everything just flipped upside down for her because this was somebody that she loved, someone that she thought she could trust. She said that he had brought his kids around, so she was just completely, flipped upside down, thinking that this man was who he said he was, and he had all kinds of identities. He, was allegedly in the military. He said that he was a Navy SEAL. He said that he had worked in Hollywood as a sound producer. That he made certain sounds for movies, like he said he made the Tyrannosaurus, the what's that movie called? Jurassic Park. He said he made the dinosaur noises for Jurassic Park and a whole bunch of other movies. He had Oscars sitting in his house on his shelves. Okay, but everything that she thought she could question. She said she even had Googled him online and that the man had planted certain stories online to make it seem like, if she did make these Google searches, she could trust him. So, anywho, it's just what you think. Okay, thank you, cuz let me just read this real quick. Thank you, cuz the harsh comments about women is so disheartening. Women are hard on other women. Women are hard on other women. And that is why I'm saying this. I realize, because I'm telling you, I used to be one of those people like, how did you not know? Blankety blank, 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 you get what you deserve. I used to say all that mess until I was on the other side of that and literally at a police station because this person had done such fucked up things. I literally got off a plane and my phone was blowing up. Me and my husband was driving from the airport and they were like, "Can we talk to you about such and such?" And I'm like, "What?" Like and I can't even really talk about it because I'm under a gag order. But at the end of the day, I was shocked. I was shocked when I found out all the things I found out about that person. And literally, like if you would have talked to me, you know, the day before and said and gave me a list of things that this person was accused of, I would have told you, I would have bet everything that I ever had, everything I had, my house, my car, anything in my bank accounts, I would have told you you're a fucking lie, okay? Until I sat down and saw it. These people are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're sociopaths who literally study human behavior and they know how to get inside your world like nobody's business. So even though we hear Ernesto and think, I'm smarter than Ernesto, how could Shirley never, how could she think all of these things? They play with your insecurities, they play with your mind, and they really mess your world up. So I'm just saying that now. I'm on the outside looking in on Shirley Strawberry's situation. I mean, this information is rolling out right now. We're only getting phone calls. Her estranged husband has been in jail for damn near a year or, over a year now. Things are going to keep coming out clearly. And so all I can say is, thank you, Yvette. Listen, I haven't shared my story completely. I'm telling you now, but if I could, and I will one day, try. I'll try. If I could give you guys more, I definitely would. But it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and we also just have to we have to pay attention. Again, to the calls that I'm listening to now. It sounds like again he's presenting himself to Sonya as in a particular way because Sonya, he wants to help him. He figured out Sonya someone he can use because she has access to legal information, things like that. They collect people. They collect people to make them look good or to get them out of trouble or to give them everything, period. That's just how it is. But yes, everybody, thank you guys for helping me out with that like button. So, anywho, if you get an opportunity, please listen to Shirley Strawberry's story. Shirley sounds so defeated and defeated. Sounds so disconnected and defeated. Excuse me. She probably is. Imagine, and I know this is one of the things. Like everybody was like, "Well, he went to jail 4 months after he got they got married, and he's been to jail 3 times, and da 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 da. Yeah, all I'm saying to you guys is think about your current life. If you are partnered with anybody, think about your children. Think about the people that you think you know and that you can trust. And then imagine what happens if, the police knocked on your door and said, this is what we have on this person and they've been arrested. Do you think that you would quickly be like, well, I'm cutting this mother off? Are you cutting him off that day? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds like the things he was arrested for weren't as severe as the current things he's in jail for. But I'm sure there were tons of red flags because in hindsight, we can always say, oh, okay, this is when I should have known something, or this is when I could have insulated or protected myself more. But at the time when these things are going on, it can just be like a whirlwind. You're just not processing it the same because really all you want is for the person that you care about is to be okay. That's what you're thinking. You're thinking as the partner, as the wife, you just want them to be okay. So yeah, she's gone through some shit. And I said this the other day. I'm going to repeat it. I think the more we know about how these people operate, the better off we will all be. The unfortunate part is they count on you keeping silent. They count on you keeping silent, and they put things on you. Like I said, I have a quote unquote gag order. I had to sign off on some paperwork to say I would not talk about certain things, period. And again, I will share more of this in a way that I know will be safe for me at a later date. But I just want you guys to know how this kind of works. You know what I'm saying? For Shirley, because she is who she is, because she worked for Steve Harvey, she definitely didn't want this story out there. She was definitely afraid of what it would look like. It is what it is now. But you know what I'm saying? It's easier to judge on the other side. I'll just say that. Let me see what LB has to say. What's up, LB? She said, in the moments of feeling disconnected and defeated, remember that even broken connections can be mended, and defeat can be a stepping stone toward a stronger foundation. Facts. You're absolutely correct. That is one of the things that I said about Shirley when I talked about romance scammers the other day. I said, literally, if she wants to get all of her strength back, including some of the wealth that she may have lost, if she can find a way to tell her story, to be honest about it, there isn't a soul that wouldn't listen, because literally people are just glomming onto the story. They want to hear it. So if she can find it in her, if she can find the strength in her to move forward and say, this is what happened to me, she could leave behind a whole lot of stuff for her daughter, for her grandchildren, for people. Okay, because again, it happens more often than we know, and especially now that everything is online with online dating. It is so easy to disguise yourself. You don't get to see people's facial expressions and that dead look between in their eyes when they're lying to you. They tell you this stuff on online, and you build this whole romantic story around it, and it's harder for you to pull away from it because you have to admit you was lying to yourself, the same way we see those stupid, I shouldn't call them stupid, but those ladies from what is it called, Love After Lockup and all that mess. You watch these people fall in love with a complete fantasy. These people aren't who they say they are when they're in prison or whatever. They're saying what they need to say so that you can keep money on their books, so that they have a place to lay their head when they get out. But that's not who they are, right? And everybody watching the show is like, how can you be so twisted in buying or believing their story? It is what it is. That's it. Okay. Yvette said, did she apologize to her daughter? Yvette, I don't know that answer. I can say from what it sounds like, she still has a relationship with her. So, just based on some of those conversations, saying that she was talking to her, that she was, helping her with bills and things like that. I know that she's wished her happy birthday and things like that online. So a lot of people are asking that question, but to tell the truth, we don't know the full extent of things. All of this is going to come out when the trial happens, and then people will know what's going on. But as of right now, it looks like Shirley and her daughter, even though it sounds like they had a, you know, some tension in their relationship, that's still her baby. It's still her baby. Those grandchildren are still her grandchildren. So we just have to see and pray for them as a family. What's up, London, England? Thank you for showing up and tuning in. Let's see how many people are watching right now. 432 of you are watching. Again, go ahead and hit that like button. Okay. Hit the like button for me. If there is 432 watching, there should be 432 thumbs ups. So go ahead and hit it, so that we can make sure that other people get a chance to join. It's a small price to pay to be on the YouTube app. Okay. Let's see. But anywho, we're gonna watch this all play out. And again, 69 years old, just turned 69 in July. This is a hard ass lesson to learn, to have lost everything, to be living with friends, to have once owned multiple homes at the same time, and now live in a friend's house. That's a lot. That is a lot. So we will see. And then we can, talk about it more as we go along. But my hope is that Shirley is doing what she can to mend her relationships with her child. The only apology that she actually gave was to Steve Harvey, which, from what I understand, she had said to him in private initially, and then said, I'm going to bring it to the show as well. And when she brought it to the show, she just gave us a little bit. She didn't tell everything. She just said, listen, he's my estranged husband now. We are currently in the process of divorcing, and that she's lost everything, and that the charges were horrific. Those are the only things that I remember her actually saying. She didn't speak anything more about how her other family or friends may have been affected. We heard her say in the phone calls, though, that she didn't want to tell certain people what was going on. She didn't want to tell her close friends and family what was going on, because she didn't want them to say, I told you so. Okay, remember that. I don't want them to say, I told you so. And I remember when I heard it, I was like, that's the first sign that you're in trouble, because you can't tell anyone else what you're going through. That's the first sign. Okay. Um, so, anywho, if people are listening, we should look at this as a cautionary tale. When people are going through things and it becomes public, they're cautionary tales. It's their real life, and hopefully we can take something away from it so that we can protect ourselves, if anything. Okay, that's their testimony that we should be able to take something from. Thank you, Gloria. I appreciate you for helping me out here in the chat. Go ahead and hit that button, please, and thank you. Okay. um let's see. Ruthie said she couldn't talk much because Steve was taking over with his shenanigans. That is true. I do remember thinking when I was listening, like, if Steve would just pipe down, because it did sound like she actually wanted to say more, but Steve kept cutting her off. That's what I saw. Let's see. Gemini 1958 said, yes, this is too much. This is a time. If she wanted to retire, travel, live life, whatever it was she had planned to do. Yes, it is sad, child. I agree. So anywho, I gave you that part. I also talked a little bit about Jennifer Lewis. If you guys wanted to come up on the panel and discuss that a little bit, you can. If you guys got a chance to see American Greed, where Jennifer Lewis tells her entire story. She also did an interview with Jason Lee. I forgot what his platform is called, but she did a interview with Jason Lee, and I put that clip up where she discussed where she discusses being tricked by a scammer, and literally saying, I thought I could never be tricked. She said that she was in a hot tub with, some friends, and they were like, oh, so when are we going to meet Tony? And she said, she mumbled, well, we're just trying to keep it private right now. And she said that her manager said to herself, when in the Okay. Did you start mumbling? And she said the day she realized that she had changed her behavior, she was like, let me look some things up about this because there's something about you that wasn't right when I heard you say that. And that is exactly what friends and family is for. If you have a good friend or a good somebody in your family who knows you well, their whole job is to keep you safe. Okay. And your job is to keep them safe as well. So when you're not being yourself, if somebody can say, listen, there's something about you that ain't right, and I don't like that. Um, Take that into account. But she said her manager pulled back, and she literally went and did her research and called her on the phone the day her mother passed away. Her manager called her on the phone and said, I got some news for you. And then literally gave her everything. This is the dates he went to prison. This is what it was for. This man is not a Navy SEAL. This man does not do anything in Hollywood. He's never won an Oscar or any other kind of award except if it was for scamming. He's been in for went to prison for blankety blank many years. That is what she told her on the day her mother passed away. So it's just really important. So not all of us have really good friends or family that you can trust, but if you can hear cautionary tales, be it the YouTube or social media, take it to heart. Like, oh, okay, Shirley's story may not be my story, but damn, you know what I'm saying? What can I do to make sure it's not my story? That's what I say. Okay. Kevin Moore said deceivers for show, deceivers. Okay. Let's talk about another deceiver. Let's see if I got some other things in my thing right now. Who was I talking about earlier today? One second. Oh, let's talk about this deceiver. I know who I wanted to talk about. Did you guys hear this story? This is a TikToker. Let me put my thing back up. Some of you may actually recognize this young lady right here. She is a beautiful young lady. Okay, she's an actress. Her name is Storm Reed. Okay, I actually saw her in I think it was on HBO. It's called Euphoria. It was like a really big deal, a big series, but beautiful young lady. Think she's in her early 20s, if that. Okay, well, her dad, speaking of deceivers, okay, her dad is out here using his daughter's name, it sounds like using his daughter's name to get free things. Take off, you get food, drinks, whatever. But he lets people know that Storm Reed is his daughter, that she's an actress. And then he goes on about his way to, create bills. And then after he does that, he he walks out on the bill. And there is a young lady. So the dad's name, let me get his name up because I wanted to play this audio for you guys. A lot of people were actually upset with this TikToker. I'm not for sure why, but they were, because they said that she shouldn't have put Storm's name in it. That was her dad. That's not her. But you guys, even if she didn't give you Storm's information, y'all know the internet will find out who you are. So once you start talking about something, the internet will definitely find you and put a name to something. So hold on. This young lady, the dad's name is Rodney Reed. His daughter's name is Storm. Beautiful young girl. Beautiful young girl. Let me put this up. Right, URLB Diane. Oh, thank you, Cookie. I appreciate you, honey. You guys are so sweet to me all the time. I appreciate it. But anyway, Storm's dad was at some bar where he decided to run out on the tab. And then the young lady was told she had to pay for it after he ran out on the tab. But anyways, I wanted you guys to hear what she had to say, this waitress, and let me know your thoughts on it, okay? So here we go. Make sure I can get my volume up.
Storm Reed's dad walked out on me Friday night, did not pay his tab at Trap City Cafe, part 2. Yes, guys,
Okay, let's play part 1.
So Stormy Reed's dad, pictured above, walked out on his tab last night, and this is why I don't get impressed when celebrities or celebrity-associated people come to the establishment where I work. Around midnight, he walks in with a beautiful woman. They sit down at the bar. She's cool. She's ordering food. He orders his usual, an old fashioned, which I bring to him. Her food comes out. We're talking. She thinks I'm funny. We're having a good little time. He orders another round, and then he's trying to order drinks for other people. Good thing I kept their own tab to themselves. And we're continuing the night. So then my manager, he always puts a little discount on his tab because we do appreciate the service.
So this guy is a regular. So he already knew what he was going to do. A regular in the bar. He gets a discount and he still couldn't pay the bill.
Then he signals like this, like he's about to leave. I'm like, hold on 1 second. You do have a tab. I present to him his tab. You guys, this man looks at his tab, sits it down, looks at me, and walks straight towards the door. I see him walk out the door. You guys, I run to my manager because I already know the place that I work. I tell my manager, hey, Stormy Reed's father, he's walking out the door. My manager rushes his butt to the door, catches him, comes back to me, and then he says, oh, he's coming right back. He's just walking that lady to the car. Don't worry, Chi. Cool. I'm like, all right. Comes back about 5 minutes later, you guys, says that the man left. What? What? So then, cool. He's like, we got to wait for the higher up manager to get there. The higher up manager gets there. I'm ready to go now, you guys. I am at my wit's end that this grown, rich man really walked out on his tab.
Mm-hmm.
But to top it all off, you guys, do you know that my manager really said, oh, that's your responsibility? He walked out on you.
So she was asked to pay his bill after he had walked out on it. And she ended up saying, well, I'm not paying the bill, so I'm going to call the police, which is what the manager should have done. I'm going to call the police. And after she made the comment, I'm going to call the police, they actually, just waived the bill. The facility ate it. And it looks like she has since quit or lost her job. So with everything that happened, that she literally, if that happened on a Friday night, she is no longer employed at that facility. So she was getting attacked in the comments. People were saying you should have never associated that man to Storm Reed. Again, she said he is the one who lets everybody know that he is her father, and that is why he gets such, special privileges and perks. So she said, I didn't think anything of it at the time. But Storm did make a comment about it. She responded to all of the chit chat about her dad taking from her, and that is one of the things I wanted to ask you guys how you felt about it. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Here we go. So here's her comment. She said, everything doesn't deserve attention. If it doesn't stop my bag or my happiness, why bother? People are not cut from the same cloth as you. People will do anything for clout. And it sounds like she was talking about the waiter as opposed to her father. She said, they say the plant won't grow if you don't water it. So some of you weeds will never get an ounce or an inch of attention from me. So she gave her that little bit of attention. But I just wanted to post it because I really felt bad for this girl if that's what's happening. A lot of people actually was in her comments and saying that that happens quite a bit in the Hollywood arena, that people will use other people's name drop, and then they will run out on tabs and things. So I wanted to know what your thoughts were about this, because this might feel like lightweight scamming, but if it falls back on the employee, if it was like, $100, $200 tab, that's pretty crazy. But y'all can let me know what y'all think about that story. What else do I have for y'all? Let's talk about KeKe for a quick second. Y'all know that KeKe has she had the episode. She was the premiere episode for the return of mid-season, right? And a lot of people had things to say about what was going on with her in Home Depot, about whether or not she was high in the episode. People were accusing her. This is a beautiful picture of KeKe. People were accusing her of possibly being not okay in the scene between her and Melody. And I actually had found some information on my Facebook channel. So let me slow down for a little bit. She ended up seeing a post that was made on my Facebook channel or my Facebook page, DYANAROZAY Real Talk. And I ended up bringing this to the YouTube page. So first, I want to say this. She had wrote, "It's embarrassing," because a lot of people keep saying how embarrassing it is that KeKe is on the show or revealing this part of herself on the show. I personally do not think it's embarrassing. I think that we all have walks that we have to make on this earth, and it is okay to set yourself free by telling it. It helps other people. And in helping other people, you heal yourself. I know it doesn't always feel that way, but it's true. But she said, "It's embarrassing. You know what the irony is? It would really be embarrassing if the details were actually true." Basically saying that she didn't steal, that she wasn't stealing on that Home Depot video. She said, "However, if someone was accused of something that they actually did, and it did happen to me in real life, I would probably say it was, embarrassing too." She said she'd keep it quiet, stop talking about a dealer, girl, bye. So you know that Tisha made insinuated that KeKe got caught stealing because she was taking locks for a drug dealer. I mentioned that in my review the other night. I said that was some dirty shit to say, Tisha. But she was looking for a moment. She got it. But there were some people who felt that she was out of sorts that night. This was posted on DYANAROZAY Real Talk. They said KeKe is high as hell. She just rambling and ain't making no damn sense. Talking about God will overflow or overflood your barns. What the hell? That's what the comment was. That was the post. Okay. Um, Someone else came in and they agreed with it. They said, "I agree with the editing take." Oh, excuse me. "I agree with the editing take." So somebody must have said that it was editing that made her look a certain way, that she was not high. They went on to say that also, "We have no idea what took place prior to the scene being shot. I think that she was just having a rough day. Personally, I saw anxiety rearing its ugly head. They were so wrong for shooting and editing the scene that way, in my opinion. Not cool." Ooh, okay. And then KeKe ended up responding, "Yes, okay." She said, "I had an extremely busy day and I had to rush home to film." She said that she was actually late getting back to her own house and everyone was waiting on her. So she was most definitely on edge. And right after the scene, she crashed. She said that she stayed in that same spot until the very next morning. Um, and she said that her husband ended up handling everything with the children so that she could stay asleep. She said she's glad that some people are using fair and reasonable judgment. Okay. I wanted to just make that post. Someone else said that y'all are talking about editing when in Mel's confessional, she commented on the convo and said that KeKe was and commented on KeKe's hot mess doing my best shirt. Y'all remember Mel said she wore that shirt and she said that she believes that's the place that she's in right now. KeKe went on to say that "I do know, and I know that you are the one doing the most." She said, "You're 100% wrong. And yes, it was editing. We sat and we talked for at least 2 hours." And she was just basically talking about the scene. "We both talked about different things, and they removed almost everything that Mel said and strung together everything that I said so that it looked like she was rambling." Um, and then she went on to say that she knows the Bible, and that's why she made the quote. Y'all can see it there, Proverbs 3:9 through 10. She said, "If I was high, she wouldn't have been cool and laid back." She said that it would have been an upper that she would have taken. So just an FYI. Y'all can still let me know what y'all think in the comments. Someone said that they are doing KeKe wrong. Y'all know that this is a reality TV show drama, right? So they are going to do things for drama, but they all know that sometimes this happens. Production was foul for editing KeKe like that. Melody's facial expressions were comical. She said that she suffers with anxiety, issues of anxiety, and she does. And she's also said that sometimes she will be long-winded in her conversations, and that she was working on it. So it's all things that we've actually heard her say prior to. But when she was sitting on the couch after she explained all that, it did look like she was just trying to, you know, get herself to a place of calm, because she probably was racing to get to the house. But you're right. Pacino rules said that everybody gets a bad edit from time to time. Absolutely 100% correct. That is the show. The show's job is to bring us a drama. It is drama. Okay. So that is true. Um, D said that KeKe sobriety doesn't include methadone, though. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you want to elaborate, Dee, I will keep looking for it. It goes on to say they're going to use KeKe as their storyline this season, since they know they can't use Mel. KeKe is definitely the storyline this season, 100%. They opened it with KeKe, so they're going to carry that on out, and we will get to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? There's other things that seems to be playing out on YouTube. Hopefully the YouTube drama doesn't get bigger than the show drama. But yeah, this is going to be a KeKe show. And it's interesting because this is her first time in as the full timer, right? And she has made a big splash with this Home Depot madness. Let's see. Vibrant Thing said, I missed the show, but as a counselor, from what I'm hearing, she's not high. She's more anxious and trying to over explain herself. I agree. I over explain myself all the time. I ramble too. So I totally understand what she's talking about. It's much easier to do these videos when you edit, because I can be really concise. But when I'm talking to you guys on live, I'm like blah, 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 and I have to remember, get yourself under control and be cool and talk. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where she's coming from. I understand what she's going through when she gets to that place. But either way, a lot of people had things to say about it. I wanted to point it out to you that she was in the comment section saying that's not what happened. She gave an explanation for why. She said that she literally was, running all day late to her own house for filming, that the camera crew, everybody was there except for her. And I guess it took her a minute to just get comfortable. 2 hours they filmed that scene, and we saw Melody say like 2 seconds worth of conversation, and everything else fell on KeKe like, she was just a whirlwind, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, a lot of people suffer from anxiety. I agree. So Phyllis is sharing that she also suffers from an anxiety disorder. I understand, child. So y'all can let me know what y'all think about that a little bit more. And then let's talk about Miss Melody Cherie. I don't know if you guys saw this picture, child. Let's get to it. Let me take this one down. Let's see. Do I have Melody's picture? I do. I know I do. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Check it out. I didn't put it in that little cup, but here it is. Y'all see Carlos and Melody, right? Looking just as cute as ever, right? But Carlos King said, raindrops and millimeters. Tonight we are requesting your presence, and that was basically for the preview. But then I wanted to post uh, Melody's mother, VRT 2019. She said, I love it. Redefining power couple. Then she posted hashtag MeloDrops. That is what Carlos King had called the millimeters and the raindrops on Melody's page. She said, happiness looking good on you too. And Melody said, let's go with the fire emojis. And you guys, let me put this picture up one more time. I was just like kind of like in shock, but smiling at the same time. I was actually happy to see them in a decent place. But y'all know that the conversation for a good little minute has not been the best where Carlos King and Melody Cherie are concerned. Now, these two have never said anything online, I don't believe, about the other. But social media has, taken these stories all different directions. And now we get to see them together, and Melody's own mother referring to them as a power couple, even though we know they're not romantically linked, but the two of them both being, in television, in the reality TV world, Carlos King doing his thing with, Kingdom Reign, and now Melody owning her own, uh, being a partner in a TV network. I was like, what is happening here? And then actually giving the millimeters and the raindrops a combined name, the MeloDrops. I was like, well, it sounds like if there was tension there, that they want people to know that maybe things have been resolved. And if there is no tension, maybe they just want a successful season 6 and try to, kill some of the noise. I'm gonna let y'all talk about it, okay? But for right now, everybody has been, I don't know if y'all paid attention to that. It just sounds like things have, they're looking for like a truce, so to speak, a truce, so to say. Let me read some of these comments. CK and Mel have never said anything bad about each other. I've never heard it. But CK will encourage the bullshit when he interviews Love and Marriage Huntsville cast. Well, his job is to encourage the bullshit. I know y'all don't want to think so, but he runs a show, again, that's drama filled. So he's going to have those conversations. Y'all look at him differently than you look at Andy Cohen, and he does the same exact mess. He does the exact same mess. And sometimes worse, in my opinion. But it doesn't mean y'all have to like him. I just know that he gets a different, people see him differently than they see the other. Okay. There's no raindrops though. Full stop. Okay. No raindrops. No mellow drop here. So yes, I wanted to know how y'all felt. Now you're telling me. So that's why I'm asking. Like I said, it felt like there was just a coming together. Let's make the second half of season 6 successful. Go ahead and hit that like button because the conversation is about to get deep. I already know. 640 of you are watching, 437 likes. Keep hitting that like button until we can get both to match. And then Kevin Moore said, work relation, baby. Thank you. That's just how it is. Listen, when I tell y'all that work business, okay, everybody says don't mix business, don't conflate the two. Your personal life is your personal life. Your work life is your work life. And that is absolutely correct. If you learn, and this is someone who used to work in human resources, okay? Hire, fire, all of it. I'm telling you now. There is a lawyer on TikTok who goes by, I think she calls herself a ghetto Harvard graduate. She's literally graduated from Harvard lawyer. And she says all the time, do your job and go the fuck home. Do your job and go the fuck home. She sings it. She's like, those people don't love you. And she is a labor attorney. She said, do your job and go home. And the second you start putting those worlds together, they can be something else. Now, granted, this is the work environment is, reality TV. So your relationships are personal, but at the end of the day, things can change the relationship because it is work, right? Just like in your real life, your work relationship, typically people don't quit jobs, they quit people. And if you quit a person, it's because you felt they've done something to you that you could no longer, accept. But you could shovel poo, clean elephant done, do whatever the job requires every single day and be okay as long as you're getting that paycheck. When things change, it's because you've messed up the work relationship with something personal. Okay. And we all have seen a whole lot of personal conversations happening where Melody and Carlos King are concerned. So, anywho, I'm enjoying the show. But again, I just wanted to know because people have gotten emotionally invested in some of these conversations that has been had. People saying that lawsuits were being filed and, you know, of course, all kinds of petitions running around to shut the show down, to take people off the show. So people have had like a lot of, really intense emotional moments as fans with the show. Um, Thank you. Cookie from the Shy said, I've dealt with deception at work, trying to be friends with coworkers. Glad to be retired now. For sure. If we all kept that mentality, and a lot of times work will mess up your mentality around work as well, because you come into the job and they're like, oh, we're family here. That's not your family. You got to remember that's not your family. Stop telling people everything. Stop expecting people to tell you everything. Stop looking for the business. You come in to do the job, and go the F home. Okay. That's it. But work is not your family ever. Ever. And you got to remember, sometimes we come in, we put those pictures of people on our desk that we love, and we get those worlds confused. You shouldn't confuse them ever. Okay. Anywho, I wanted to know what your thoughts were about seeing Melody and Carlos King together, about her mother even saying, power couple, you two look good together, and then hashtagging MeloDrops, because right now it looks like they're asking that people just enjoy the show for the show. Um, and we will see. And if you want to talk a little bit about the episode, you can too. Let's see. Coworkers are not friends. I've always went into jobs with that mentality, and it has saved me from the mess like some others. Me too. And I'm not going to lie. People used to say, why don't you bring pictures of your family and stuff and put on the desk?" I never did, because home is my sanctuary, and I did not want to confuse the two. I don't want to walk in this office and get too relaxed and think I'm at home. I'm at work. I'm at work. Okay. But anywho, it looks like an old prom picture. So let me put that photo back up. Yeah, this was cute. I'm going to tell you the cutest part of these two, the night that he got the Sheen Icon Award, is when he came up and they started doing the little dance together. That was bomb. I thought that was just adorable. But anywho, I'm going to drop the link. You guys can come up. We'll have a short uh, little talk if for anybody who wants to join. Okay, y'all can share your thoughts on everything that we discussed tonight or today. This isn't an evening live. And then yeah, I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. Again, I totally understand that we have had some real emotional investment regarding the show and what was going on in it. And now, like I said, I've never heard, I'll say that before we get started. I actually asked Melody one day when I talked to her on one of her lives. I remember asking her about her relationship with Carlos, and she was like, I think she said something to the extent of, we don't talk to each other all the time. It's work. And even then, she was letting people know it's a work relationship. Like, she wasn't confusing the two. But sometimes, again, you know, the blogosphere can add things and subtract things depending, on what they want it to look like. And now we have to, see what's going to happen next. But I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. And are you a mellow drop? Okay. Talk to me, Miss Lady D's. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you have, hold on one second. Do you have me turned up? Uh-oh. I think it's Maritha. Let me mute you. Okay. Lady D's, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Go ahead. Share your thoughts on anything or all things. It's up to you.
Um, hmm, Miss Shirley Strawberry. Hopefully, she get herself together
Yeah.
and let that man go because he's not good for her at all.
Amen.
And Melody and Carlos King.
Mm-hmm.
I would never be a Melody Ray drop whatever he said type of
Mellow drop.
person.
Mellometers plus mellometers plus the raindrops. Mellow drops.
No. I'd be a millimeter, but not a no. That don't go together.
Those are together. Okay.
You ain't right. You ain't right, Diana. Keep throwing that in our face. You ain't. You ain't shizzing it.
Well, I was reading and I was like, whoa, what is happening? My brain is spinning. Okay, go
But no, it's no.
ahead. Okay.
Cor-
You're not down right now, is what you're saying.
No, not at all. Because all the stuff that he done put that woman through and have letting the people treat her any kind of way and talk about her like that, I wouldn't. No, never, ever.
Okay. But listen, this is what I'm going to say, and completely respectful of everything you have said. Y'all know I like to play devil's advocate just a little bit, but Melody hasn't lost anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like she. Well, I should say this. Came into this show, first, second season, third season, she loses everything. Right? She does lose everything:
right.
marriage and
Mhm.
money and where she was, but she has gained so much of it. I mean, more than everything back. She owns her own, what is it called? TV network. She owns her own network. Like, she's dreaming things for herself that she probably didn't dream when she was with her ex, right? And now
Mhm.
all of a sudden, all kinds of doors are opening for her. She drops a new line with Jay Bolin. She's adding to her skincare collection. No, nothing that anyone has ever said about her has pulled her down for
That's
the
true.
she can achieve. And I think we forget that part of it, that Melody hasn't lost a step.
She rising.
She
She
rises
rising.
every single day. Okay. So
Mhm.
that's a big deal. Like, that's usually where my focus is, because I don't like to add like the bad stuff to her success stuff. She's
Mhm.
successful. She's
Yeah.
successful. There was a time, you get divorced, you don't know what's going to happen to you next, and you're living your life out loud on a TV show, and people have all kinds of judgments about how stupid you are. Why did you stay for that long? All of these things, you know what I'm saying? That
Mhm.
can get into your head and keep you still in the same spot. And she made it a point of not staying in the same spot. I don't
Yes.
want to be in that space anymore. I'm going to go beyond that space, and you're going to see it in real time. I don't
Right.
know how, I mean, that's,
I'm glad she has a forgiving heart
yes.
because, like I said on somebody else's platform, I wish that I was more like her and
Hmm.
had that forgiving heart and that get up and go and that I'm a mover, I'm a shaker, I'm a boss, I'm all that.
Hmm.
And that's what she is. She's a mover, she's a shaker, she's a boss. She's about that. She's about her money and her life and her children.
For sure. 100%. And she hasn't lost anything. She's gained more than she's lost. That's what it looks like from the outside looking in. So,
Right. Hmm.
um, and that's a big deal. I would say, even I'm sure there's people out here in the chat who knows, for a child to have had it all, her children to have had it all, vacations, whatever they may have wanted, and then to have a place where that stops and you not know how your kids are going, what can I do for Christmas? Like we heard, that their dad
Right.
give them a Christmas or whatever those things are. There's a lot of people who experience that and have, children who they may not be able to provide for in the same manner. For someone
Right.
who have fought that hard to bring it back to the
Right.
level and beyond.
Right. But you see what's happening with the ex-husband. We ain't gonna say his name. But you see what's happening with him. He getting his karma because God don't like ugly. And
Listen,
when you sit up there and you cheat on your wife, for how many years did you cheat on her? 10, 12, a long time? Come on, you getting your karma. You got to move out of your place that you staying in.
right, right.
So you getting all your stuff back that you put her through.
I agree. I agree. At the end of the day, I'll say this. What we saw on television and beyond is
Yeah,
what people actually do when you have those situations. Your women get blamed all the time. Why did you stay? You should have known better. You had red flags. All of those things come at you tenfold. They hit you like a pile of bricks. They can lay you down. We should be celebrating that that woman didn't lay down.
I
Okay.
think
yeah.
we do celebrate Mel. We just don't celebrate Carlos. I'll
Okay.
wait for my turn. I'll wait for my turn.
Okay. I'm
You
okay.
right. You right though.
But
She's
but
right.
Mm-mm.
you're not celebrating him because he brought the story that we saw.
No.
Okay.
Because if this was a normal job, any manager that allowed bullying, harassment, and stuff like that would have been gone. That
Okay.
character in you as a human being, as a person, to allow that gruesome. I'm not talking about regular old drama. I'm talking about bullying, um, S tape stuff, people threatening people's mama. When you sit there and allow that for ratings, that's not regular drama to me. That's thank God Mel was strong enough, but that could have broken somebody and under his watch. Now, that's why and if this was the real world, Carlos would have been fired.
But the essay stuff did not happen on his show.
No, 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 no. The threaten didn't happen on this show,
And
but
the threat for the mama didn't happen on his show.
he let the man that threatened the mama come on the show after the threat.
Which states, just say this.
Basement Billy
Base-
came on that show after he already did his rant on YouTube, and he was supposed to go on the show to make a peaceful thing, and it didn't work. He continued. He just used that as a shine opportunity to do worse.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I
And that's what
you
I was
guys
trying to
100
say. Thank you,
examples.
LaDon.
I'm sorry about that. I can give y'all 100 examples of how this have played out on other shows, like Nene choking allegedly, Kim behind the Target, and all these other things. They happen all the time. We were just emotionally invested in Melody in a different way
I
than
don't like Andy neither. Nope. I don't like Andy neither. We just don't talk about Andy as much.
we
But
don't.
if we did talk about Andy, you'd hear my mouth about him too. I'm
Okay,
not saying because he white, he clear, brown. I don't care about none of that. I'm talking about
that's my
characters.
thing. I'm like
I don't like Andy.
sometimes are threatening and trying to tear
Nope.
down, but there is a whole that's
Mm-mm.
literally set the platform for this and is being sued as we speak and being
Mm-hmm. I
banned.
don't like him neither. I don't like him neither. Trust me. But
Okay,
I'm
I'm out. I'm gonna let y'all finish up. Please go ahead, say what you have to say.
Oh no, I was agreeing with LaDon. That's what I was trying to say, but she just said what I wanted to say.
Okay, okay, okay. I appreciate it. Maritha, welcome, honey.
hey
Good afternoon,
Marita.
everybody.
Hey
Hey,
Marita.
LaDon.
Well,
Um, I'm gonna start with Shirley Strawberry first.
okay.
Um, I think Shirley had been alone for a long time, and the first man. I'm not gonna say the first man. You know, it just happened to be this man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, knew how thirsty Shirley was.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've been hearing, he was charisma. And sometimes men could say the right thing when you are thirsty, when you are parched.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and for me personally, when people come and say something to me, I don't. If one person said, "Okay, you're just talking out your mouth, right?" But if
Mm-hmm.
if two or three people come in and say something, that's not that man ain't what he's seen. I'm gonna kind of step back and reassess the situation just to see is it is this what it's presenting itself to be.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, Shirley, I don't know. She was hoodwinked and she was bamboozled. And I half of me want to feel for her, half of me don't want to feel for her.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I really think Shirley still loves this man.
Mm-hmm.
And the apology that, by her divorcing him now, I don't think she's divorcing him because that's what she really wants to do. She's divorcing him because she could be embarrassed, she could be ashamed, all of that stuff that you go through when you find out he ain't what you thought he was. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I see it with Shirley. And to be at that age, yes, everybody done played the fool maybe once, maybe twice, you know. But
So
to lose
every
everything, yeah,
that's
that's what I said.
spent the whole
But
life.
to
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but to lose everything behind a man, And sometimes, women go against their families, against a man. And, for me, she apologized to Steve, but she didn't apologize to her daughter. For me, that didn't sit well with me because before I would apologize to Steve, I would have went to my daughter first.
Mhm. So
So
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that we just clarify. She apologized to Steve in person. She didn't. We don't know if she apologized to her daughter or what those conversations were. The only reason why we got it on the radio is because she said after I apologized to Steve in person, I wanted to share on the radio because it's become such a big deal. They didn't even have to bring it to the radio. They just did it out of that. But she talked to Steve in
okay,
person.
and that's true. For me, and I never say a person you get what you got, you know, but whoop, there it is. And I hope and pray that she um I hope things come. No, I'm not. I pray and I hope that things come together for Shirley. I really do. So that's the end of that for me.
Okay.
Now with Carlos and Melody,
Yes.
work is work.
That's right.
Business is business.
That's
I
right.
am
All,
not a melodrop. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
a melometer. I
you're
Mm-hmm.
not a
like male. I admire male. I will root for. I know I'm not a millimeter. I will root. I root for male. I will stand with male. I have been. My feelings have been hurt because I knew some of the things that this lady has been through. A lot of women felt the pain that this woman went through, and I admire her strength for going through it in front of kind of like the world. The world found out that this
the
man
world.
was had a extramarital affair, had a baby. He did all
Tell you
kind of
what's
things to this
worse.
lady.
The worst part of all of this, worse than anybody on the show, is the person who ain't been on the show, who thinks he's
Mm-hmm.
on the show. He was the worst part of the entire healing process, the entire breakthrough.
Mm-hmm. The taunting. Yep.
That was the
It
worst.
is it
That is what
exactly.
we're connected to. Like,
It,
really, we should be mad as hell at Martell because how did you let this bitch do that?
Right.
Every single solitary day to a woman who was hurt and
that
grieved,
you say you loved.
the death of your relationship, the death of not
That
having
you brought that
a
in here.
father in the home.
Yeah, yeah. And
The
and
yes,
and
ma'am.
I sort of agreed. Like when I was in the work world, I would let people
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Marita.
What happened,
work
Maritha?
together.
Oh,
Come back up,
Auntie
oh,
Marita.
Maritha. I don't know what
Oh.
happened. She got kicked out, but I see her, Maritha.
Am I here now?
You're back.
Yes.
yeah, we can hear.
Okay, okay. When I was in the work world,
Mm-hmm.
I let people know. Because when you go in the work world as a new person coming on a new job, there's clicks on jobs. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm the new person. So I don't try to fit in because I let them know if I get off at 5 o'clock, 5:01, baby, I'm out the door. I'm letting you know I'm go. I start work at 4:45. So whatever I got to do when 5 o'clock come, I'm in front of the time clock. 5:01, I'm out the door, and I let people know. Look, we ain't friends. We work together.
Amen.
Because some of us would never. I would never sit down and have lunch. I could sit and have lunch by myself. I don't need nobody. Because it's too much drama that goes on these jobs. So we ain't friends. I made friends with one person on the job. I was cordial with the rest. I went shopping with her. I went to lunch with her. I babysitted her baby. But the rest of them, we were just co-workers. And that's the way you have to be on some of these jobs. Now, like LaDon said, In the real world, no. All that about the pee porn and all that other stuff, it happened afterwards. However, there was a time when Martell was in Miss Van's face yelling and screaming.
Mm-hmm.
That he would
Mm-hmm.
have been reprimanded for that
Mm-hmm.
in the real world. And on
Mm-hmm.
some job, I would have been in fear of my life. And
But
that man is still on this job. I would have been fear of my life.
they're on reality.
But you know,
Do you think it's
they're on react.
different to have to show present your life in a way that people relate to versus what happens at your real job? Like is a different set of parameters, right?
It shouldn't be because it's reality TV, reality real. What's going on? And if you're real people and this is really what's happening, then you should get the real consequences.
Mhm.
Exactly. And so, for me, Carlos is a non-entity.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, um he's an insignificant person to me because he do what he have to do to get to where he wants
Mm-hmm.
to be. So Carlos is Carlos, and anything that Carlos do, that's just what Carlos do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't really put any too much energy into Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
And with KeKe, like I've said several times, I am 30 plus years clean,
Mm-hmm.
and I do have anxiety from that, and I
Mm-hmm.
can understand where KeKe frustrations come in. And when people, she do sometimes, you have to catch up with her sometime when she start talking, because she will take you around the world and through a lot of curves and up and down the valley and through the mountains when she talking. But when you have your anxiety kicks in, mostly when you are trying to explain yourself to people and they act as if they don't understand, and then you start in your mind, you say, am I talking too slow? Are these people listening? Am I talking too fast, or are these people listening too slow? And it starts sounding like you are rambling. And she's having anxiety because she's dealing with, okay, you say I stole a lock. I don't, then, but I got my cousin over here saying I'm a dope head. So,
Did you
her
see her face?
anxiety.
Maritha, did you see her? You watched the show?
I did.
Okay. Did you see her face when Melody brought it up? And she just makes you could just see like this expression wash over her, like, damn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
don't even want to have to. And it was the part where she said, well, Tiffany brought it to me.
I
And
think that's what the face was with
yeah,
Kiki. Like, oh
Yeah,
boy, here we
yeah,
go again,
yeah,
Right.
Tiffany.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and see, LaDon, I'm right there with you. And when you know what, and that when Mel gave her that push through T-shirt,
mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes even we could say, "Oh, I just feel so bad today." And when you said you speaking word over yourself,
mm-hmm,
and she had on that T-shirt, "I'm a hot I'm a hot mess" or something like that. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're saying that to yourself,
hot mess doing my best.
Mm-hmm. I
okay,
be like that
you could be
sometimes.
and exactly you're speaking that word over yourself because at that moment,
That's how you
that's
feel.
how you feel. And
Yeah.
I'm a person, I don't deny my feelings. If
Mm-hmm.
I feel like crying, if I feel like screaming, if I feel like cussing you out, I'ma do that. And that's what she was feeling at that moment. However, in my opinion, I believe when Mel gave her that push through T-shirt, that was encouragement within itself
Mm-hmm.
without even speaking one word, because that's the type of person that Mel is. Mel didn't come to say, girl, what happened?
Right.
She didn't
Mm-hmm.
come to
She did.
condone her. She
She
didn't come
ain't
Mm-mm.
to
trying to be
judge
messy.
her. She
Nope.
didn't come with all of that. Mel came to, I believe Mel was being a genuine friend.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, girl, in her head, because I be like that with people, be know what's going on, but I'm going to wait for you to tell me what's going on.
Mm,
So I believe that that's what it was with KeKe. And like I said before, the first this is the first episode of the new, I guess, the new season. So
right.
it was okay. It just set the tone for the rest of the stuff that we're gonna see.
Remember,
So,
someone was talking about her sweating in the comments, and they said she was going through menopause. Remember, she visited with
mm-mm.
she told Tisha that the is it methadone?
Yes, it does,
Yeah.
because I used to
That the
be on that.
methadone makes her sweat a lot.
It
That
does.
she said that. She said that.
Yeah, she's more
Don't
transparent than
forget
them.
about that, but we have to remember keep continuity. That's what she actually said in the first half of the season 6.
And
Uh,
people don't
But do you,
understand that methadone is a drug.
right.
But you know,
Mhm.
it help you wean. I never had, and I thank God and I praise God sometimes all the time because a lot of people had to do a lot of things. I didn't. It was just by the grace of God that,
Yeah.
when I learned what my triggers was,
Mm-hmm.
then,
Mhm.
you know, I- my body, I let my body go through what it was going to go through on it. I don't know if that was the rebellious in me or I don't know the strength in me. I don't know what it was, but it was just, I just said, I'm not going to let this thing defeat me. I'm Marita.
Amen.
And that's the attitude that I had. So,
Mm-hmm.
different strokes for different folks. But, um, I KeKe is not. I'm not a big fan of KeKe, and I've let
Mm-hmm.
her know that. But I root for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am
Mm-hmm.
rooting for her because she is an overcomer.
Facts. That's
Yes.
all we can ask for. And you,
Diana, I have a question for you.
yes, ma'am.
Do you really think that that was Kiki in that video? Because I don't think it was her because
No,
her.
that was her, but did she do what they said she did?
It was her because she actually said it was
Yes.
her. She
Yeah.
admitted to it being her.
She just said it wasn't.
Okay.
She,
Because
she admitted to it being her. She said she can't talk about it. And I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ladon. I think you were going to explain it.
No, you go on. It's your show, girl.
I think what she said was they had a photo of her because she was in the store, like all that stuff she said. It's just that she did not steal. Okay. And I also just, everybody, I have my little alleged banner going down here. It is a legal issue. She's never been arrested for this situation. Okay. So,
okay. Because I was looking at the picture and I was like, that don't look like Kiki to me. It looked like a older woman that sort of kind of favored her, but it
yeah,
just
I mean,
didn't.
she was at the Home Depot. She wasn't trying to be the glam lady, but she also looked like she had some. She might have been eating something, and someone just, took a picture. I heard actually, who lives in New York? Ladon, you live in New York? New York?
Boston. Boston.
Boston. Okay. I heard that in New York, your picture is taken on the street every 5 or 7 seconds. There isn't any way you can walk in the street where your picture isn't taken by some outside camera, just
Mm-hmm.
flashes always.
Mm-hmm.
We literally we I mean, I know when I was younger, you didn't think about that, but now you're in these big cities or whatever. Huntsville's in a big
Mhm.
city, but you go into stores, your cell phone, if you have an iPhone, do you know your iPhone takes a picture every 3 seconds? Even if you're not taking the picture, it's taking a front picture of you. Did you know that?
Mm.
This is
Oh,
No.
yeah.
stored someplace. We don't know where. So when you lay your phone down, that phone is still taking a photo. If your phone is
Is that just for iPhones or Androids too? Because I have an Android. I'm not an iPhone girl.
it may be for Android.
I think it is, Diana, because I done pulled my phone out and was doing a couple of things before, and I went through photos to look at a picture, and I had pictures that was snapped that I know I didn't snap.
Those are pictures that you take and you keep. Though there's pictures that get stored to another cloud. They take pictures of your face all day. Anybody that lives
Wow.
at home,
Wow.
your television has a camera on it.
Exactly.
It
Yes.
does.
That
Wow.
camera is
Those
recording
smart, because I got two smart TVs. Yeah.
the
Yes.
recording what's going on in your home. You have to go into your settings and say, I don't give you permission. And even then you don't know if you've literally turned that thing off. We don't know
Hmm.
where the pictures are going. But and I say all that to say she went into Home Depot looking like a woman who's going into Home Depot. I'm not here to
Right.
it.
Right.
Somebody took that picture from what I'm understanding and they
And
used
then when it did black and white, you really couldn't tell. That's why I was like,
okay. And you're
yeah.
right. At the beginning, you're like, that's not KeKe, but she did admit she said it was her.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Did you have anything else you want to share?
No, I was just wanted to ask that question because it just, a black or white picture, you really can't see the person's full face. So it's like all you see is the figure and the clothes and the bag and all that, but that, you know.
Mm,
Okay. So she did say it was her. Okay.
she did. She did. Okay, let's see. I think Simone was next, and then I had you, Ladon, as last, but that got scrambled when Maritha dropped down. So I'm going to go with Simone Wealthy. Simone,
Good afternoon, ladies.
hi.
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 How are
I
you?
missed the first half, so I was in a meeting, but I caught most of the rest of it. But I had some thoughts on the Shirley Strawberry situation.
Yes, ma'am. What are your
It,
thoughts on Shirley
I,
Strawberry?
I really think it was a well orchestrated scam. Not only he's not working by himself. I think the
Mm-hmm.
brother who we've heard, his son, because every time he's speaking with the girlfriend or mistress or what have you, he says they're like us, they're like us.
For sure.
And yeah, so I think it was well orchestrated. Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with Shirley. My heart, I feel sorry for her. I really do. I saw your earlier video. We can get got. Any of us can get got. Any of us. I don't care how smart, how savvy, how street smart. We all can get got, especially now with this new modern technology and what you were saying, how that person went and created fake stories to just in case someone did Google
Jennifer
him.
Lewis. He created
Yeah,
fake stories. He made it seem like he was working in Hollywood as a sound producer, and he made all this wealth. He literally made these stories about himself. She said it all checked out.
and so I think that is so scary. So that's why I say I do feel okay. Yeah, she got, but what kind of makes me pause is she's a woman of a particular maturity,
Mhm.
and I'm sorry. After the first eviction and the first arrest after we were married, that should have been her time to get out. I don't care how much love is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Love is not like that. That
Love don't live
is
here anymore.
exactly. She could have cut her losses at that point and been done. Had the experienced that and been done. Because now, the way it's looking, I mean, from the phone calls from 2022, it didn't seem like they were trying to go after her. But they, depending on what type of prosecutor, is handling this, they may try to go after her. She may end up getting charged if they're not getting everything from him like they want. I mean, although his stuff looks horrible. Oh God, I can't. It just makes me want to throw up after hearing these recent charges. But that's what I'm afraid of. I'm like, later, because it's not over and done with. Could they put some sort of fraud or something on her?
Or
And that just
accessory.
messes exactly. So that is what I'm afraid of. But that's why I said I don't think she's 100% a scammer, but I think she's kind of like the Phaedra Parks of the situation. She knew, but just let it go. And those type of situations, you just can't. She had the means and the ability to get away. So it wasn't like she was, didn't have any other monies coming in. She just 100% depended on him. She had a whole really, nice paying job and friends and support that if she wanted to get away, she could have made a very clean break of him. So that
That is
kind
why
of makes me,
so
huh?
that's why it's important to point out that it is a romance scam because our minds, it's a chemical thing when you're in love with someone or you're afraid of what life would look like if you're not with a man or whatever. And people get scammed out of this all the time. It's just unfortunately it's not just her, but people really think that they need to be connected to people. Like
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
person. It's unfortunate, but we do these things for people. And you're right. And she probably had every red flag in the book. It sounds like people were saying to her, people that loved her, child, no.
She
Get
got evicted 5 times, ladies.
move, move.
5 times. Come on.
Mm.
5 times.
I mean,
That
it's a
that makes it tough to kind of, feel 100% behind her because come on, ladies, come on. That is just,
I hear you.
I
You were
mean, I
single and
get
never got evicted, and then you get a husband and get evicted.
exactly, exactly. So, but
But you
okay,
know what I think
moving,
it was with Shirley? Shirley was prideful. You know, and just like, Diana said, she said earlier, she didn't want people to say, I told you so. See,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
look
have
at
no pride.
now.
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. I don't have no pride because the first time he got arrested and that affected my pocket, one of us got to go, and it ain't gonna be me going nowhere. You got
right,
to go because
Let me.
right,
I waited all these years for a man. You know what? I drank some water and quenched my thirst.
right. Well, and
I
also,
And
admire
so
people. I admire people who can say what they gotta say. My mama used to say whatever was in her head. Okay, like
mhm,
oof, it's
and
coming
that's
out.
me.
Get it, and I appreciated that. Like a Jennifer Lewis, that's my mama all day. Get.
oh, I love her.
Yes,
I love
yes.
Jennifer Lewis. But
I,
you know
on
what?
the other
Also,
hand, I'm always trying to find the cute way to say something, and I was like, I just
It ain't no cute way.
uh-uh. You just got to say it. But also,
You
I
just
think it's
got to
also
say
that
it.
Hollywood effect. I think it's that Hollywood effect trying to live like the Joneses. Because if you notice, every property that they were evicted from, these weren't just, maybe single family homes, little small, nice house. These were like mini mansions, condos in the sky. So they were going into these really high end, high priced homes. So I think that has to do a little bit with it as well. She wanted to kind of stay in that image, keep up with the Steve Harveys and all that type of thing. So I think that played maybe a little bit with it. But
Uh-huh.
going on to that, what's his name, Carlos and Melody, in
Mhm.
that what happened over the weekend. Melody's playing the game, as far as I'm concerned. She's playing the game. She's playing the long game. I mean, I'm not in her head. I admire her, and I am a millimeter. I can't say what she's thinking or feeling, but I just feel like she is playing the game. I don't think, I think she's very grateful that he got her the started, with the love and marriage and got everything kind of rolling. But I think she sees him for who he is, and although we know this is the reality TV world, he has done some very dirty and, in my opinion, just immoral things to not only her but to other Black women. And granted, reality TV kind of teeters, with workforce enforcements when it comes to the S harassments, but the hostile work environments and all of that. But he definitely retaliated against her and her mom. I do truly believe, no one knows for sure. I do think they complained to someone over his head when certain things happen. And I think he retaliated against them by allowing everyone to attack her, from left, right, upside down. And stress kills. I know she's a praying woman. She has a good support team around her. But stress, the heaviness of going into these scenes and doing different things and knowing everyone's coming at you, stress can take you out faster than anything else. But at the end of the day, I think she's playing the game. And I would play him just like he tried to play her, because in my opinion, she's going to supersede anything he's ever done.
Okay. Okay.
She already did a little bit because she's a
She
part of a
already
business
did.
owner.
Absolutely.
I see her.
Absolutely.
I see a success. I see a
Oh,
success.
we do. We all see a success now.
And I think that sometimes, even in our own lives, sometimes it's the BS that keeps you
Mhm.
pressing and moving forward. So
Yes.
things happen the way they're supposed to every once
Yes.
in a while. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Hmm.
But I'm just
Yep.
happy that none of it has stopped her, and that when because not again, I do 100% believe that not everybody can do what she did. 100%.
You're right. You're right. Everyone, a lot of women. She's
People
a she's an
have
inspiration. She's an
we
inspiration.
exactly most of us that would have effed our minds up, and I mean most, the majority, it would have effed our minds up, and we would not have been able to do anything.
Or the
I
other
agree.
half, like me and Maritha, would have been in jail because we would have attacked.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You ain't
But
cracking
see,
me up, I'm gonna
but
crack
you know
you
what?
upside the head.
But no, well, you know what? When you have a good foundation, Melody has a good foundation,
From the
and
start.
Melody has a true relationship with God. You can see the anointing is all over this lady. And when you having a relationship with God, yeah, you're gonna walk through the fire, but he said you're not walking through the fire by yourself. I'm with you.
Hmm.
And just like he was with Daniel in the lion's den and in the fiery furnace, nobody got burnt, no smoke smell. That
I'm gonna
relationship,
the best way to get
relationship.
yourself out of something, the best way to keep pushing forward is to recognize you're not the first.
Hmm.
Exactly.
You're not the
And
first.
you won't be the
You won't
last.
do
Won't be
last.
the last. And once you figure that part out, your life will be better. You
Hmm.
can't care about what people say because their job in saying it is to keep you under their foot. That's it. Just keep.
That's it. That's it.
Yep. All right. What's your thoughts on everything, Miss LaDonna? I'm gonna have you close us out.
I knew that's why you kept me for last. You ain't slick. No, sir. Well, I'm gonna say about the girl that the waiter.
Mhm.
And first of all, don't get mad at the blogger or the waiter
Oh,
because
Hello.
your daddy is the one that was out there using your name in the first place to
Hello.
do these things.
right.
So be mad at him for putting you in that situation to be able to even talk
Hello.
about like that.
Yes. So
You
you're
know what I'm
referring to
saying?
Storm Reed and her daddy
Yes.
hiding.
Yes, you got misdirect anger, honey. You should be mad at your father. Why you out? You could have called me. I would have cash apped you. Don't you out there embarrass me like that. That's what you should be
Facts.
mad at. You got misdirect
Mhm.
anger.
Yeah.
Miss me with that, little girl. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
agree.
how dare you?
Why are you coming for this woman who is trying to make a damn living working up at this bar and your daddy's in here running out on the bill?
And they
And
was gonna take it out of her check?
Mhm.
Are you
Right.
kidding
That's
me?
straight
You're
ghetto.
you're
Yes,
mad because they threatened to take it out of her check.
yeah,
And y'all are loaded, and your father want to be a pig.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
your father didn't have? What's going on with your relationship that your father didn't have a money or a card that was open? What's wrong with
Absolutely.
And
your
he's standing up
relationship
there looking like a pimp.
Yeah.
that he had to do what he had to do, bringing out these girls, knowing he didn't have the money to be paying these bills?
Right. Right.
Stop it!
Mhm.
Stop it! People like that will never go too far. They may be in them rooms for the time being, going up, but you will come down with that kind of attitude.
People don't understand the power of social media, how it works. Y'all, people got to get on top of it. You can
Yeah.
get your whole life snatched playing these games.
Yeah, that's why Melody moves the way she moved. Don't be embarrassing me. She don't attach herself, or the people that love Mel that's in her team don't do things and put her in situations to be embarrassed, like her daddy did her.
Yeah, that's right.
All
That's right.
right. So that's on her. Enough of her.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna say something about KeKe.
Okay.
Mel, I think Mel gave her that T-shirt as a strength of like a armor,
Uh-huh.
because she's been through it. Maybe a different situation, but she's been ganged up on. She's
Mm-hmm.
been lied on. There's been rumors she's a cheater. She's a this. She's a that. And she said to KeKe, push through. This will pass. You stay strong, and this is what's going. You'll get through it. Because they came at me 10 times fold. You know what I mean? And I think Kiki's face was like that, like, oh God, here go the stalker again. Tiffany's obsessed with KeKe.
Mm-hmm.
Obsessed
Mm-hmm.
because everything come out her mouth is Tiffany, 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 Tiffany now. It's like, why are you so glued on her? You know what I mean? It's kind of weird to me. You just had a baby. You ain't seen Mel in a while, and your first visit is about Tiffany. That's
Mhm.
why Mel said innocent until proven guilty. I am not bragging or kicking nobody down when I don't know what's true. And another thing, for Tiffany to say people are bad for your brand and your life is your life. What may be bad for your brand may not look bad for my brand. So don't tell me where you think I should pick who was bad for my brand. That's
Not to
manipulation.
mention, they're on a reality TV show. And before Tiffany even showed up on this show, the brand was stained. Okay.
Right.
And so that's how I feel about that. And I think, I remember when I first got off of heroin and I got on the methadone clinic, and in the beginning I kept it a secret because people judge you. And if they don't know, was my thinking. If I don't tell them I'm on methadone and I do what I'm supposed to do, when something in life throws you stones or happen, they're going to assume or they're going to know it's just because of life. But if I tell them I'm on methadone, everything that happened, if I trip on a crack, oh, it's because that methadone. If I choke on this, oh, it's that methadone. They're going to go right to that when it has nothing to do with that. I was on the methadone clinic, but I didn't stay long because I didn't want that crutch. I used it for what I wanted it for and was to detox and come off, and I got off of it. Some people stay on it for years. KeKe was transparent. She said how it makes her feel a long time ago. She let us know that she was also being detoxed. You
Yeah.
understand? It is a physical, once you get off the heroin, which is a physical addiction, methadone is also a physical addiction. You
Yeah.
just can't wake up one day and not take it. You will go, it's like the flu 10 times full with the runs, throwing up, body aches. Your legs just be kicking out the blue and you didn't even kick it. Your body jerks. So it's a physical addiction. So if she did have to go to hospital because she was in pain, so what? She's taking care of herself and what she needs to do for her instead of running out there on the street getting pills. You understand? People need to stop using other things as an excuse and let this girl live her life, And not only that, they're allowing Tisha and to skate under the radar and use KeKe as a scapegoat. You
Yeah.
understand? And what I don't like is I'm all good with shade because I got a mouth on me too. But what I'm not good with is lying shade. When you're lying, like Wanda saying something about her being in a car and doing B jobs and stuff like that. How you know, Wanda? Was you there? Because
Ah,
ain't nobody just gonna go to you and say, "Girl, don't you know last night I got in a car accident when I was tricking?"
right.
Who gonna do that? And
Look,
she wouldn't have did that with you, Wanda. So you're just throwing out nasty, degrading stuff just to put her down.
Mhm.
I haven't listened to the one.
I
Wanda.
didn't either. I only had
I
like five
know.
seconds.
Yeah, I know that this is real family drama, and
Mm-hmm.
been defending herself again.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
like, you know what? I don't know if there's too many people talking about it because I think people are tired of Wanda. That's
Mm-hmm.
where I'm at. So the people that I've been listening to, because I don't go behind walls, whatever's in the forefront, I'm just like, I think people are just like, that's their shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the show. So, and Wanda's not on the show anymore. It's not even a reason to follow it.
Yeah, but they're bringing it, but her daughter is bringing it to the show. You understand?
Yes.
By through what's the name? So therefore, like you said about the P tape and stuff, oh, it wasn't on a show, but it got dragged into the show.
You're right. You're right.
It got dragged into the show.
And
So my thing with this,
mhm.
huh?
No, I was going to say we only got the first episode. Saturday's the first episode,
Right.
but
So anyway, so yeah, I feel like they're just using her as an scapegoat. I think KeKe is being transparent, and she's more transparent than them because she's honest about what she is going. I'm going through this. So when I'm sweating, she's telling it. But Tisha and them don't tell nothing but lies. Pregnant. Come on. We all know we got clip. Stop it. It's just a flat out lie, but we're gonna spend episodes talking about the lie. It's just ridiculous. So what I'm glad at though is TT strong enough. KeKe is strong enough to handle this, because the chatter. You know why I noticed she's strong enough to handle the chatter? Because when she comes back and how she's feeling about it, she's like, whatever, whatever, you say it, whatever, you
And she's
know.
been that way since the start. She said
She
there was
can
a
take
period
it.
she couldn't talk about it, but now she wants to be open. And that was the biggest thing for me when I actually talked to KeKe. I was like, everybody on the show has said they've gone through some depression or whatever this case may be. And a lot of it may have been because they didn't want their secrets out there. But KeKe has already said, I'm putting it out there first.
Yes, yes, and that's the
Oh,
best
and
way
she
to get
is
in
too.
front of it. That's the best way to get
Mhm.
in front of it. All right, now Carlos,
Carlos.
I'm gonna say this.
Yes.
Mel, she's very smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Carlos knows what he needs to do. He needs to play nice with Mel. So not only Mel's playing the game, Carlos is also playing the game. He don't like
Clean.
the mellow meter sicking on him. So he want to be cool. He want to be, and also all the stuff that was going on before, he probably do. I know he secretly or out in the open respect Mel. He respects her hustle. He respects her boss up. He does respect that. But what I won't allow him to do, to think like Martell that he made her, because Mel was destined for this from the gate. Her mother had already had her singing, playing instruments on the radio at 15. She was already destined for this. She already had her first house, in business before she started the show. The show helped advance it quicker. Michelle.
Sure.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate that Mel's the type of woman that can do that, because some women don't use the platform for what it is, but Mel did, and it had nothing to do with nobody else but what she was already knew what her focus was in life. You
Exactly.
know,
Mhm.
God already had it written for her, and she just got the brains, the heart, and the boss up to carry it through. You know,
Right.
and I think the best thing for Carlos to do is continue to play nice with Mel. Because a lot of people are only showing up for this show is because of Mel. You know,
Not a lot.
And
The
also
majority,
right?
Ladon is spot
almost
on.
everybody. Melody is
Yes.
also watching her
Yes.
go from where she did, watching the all the craziness that went on, whether it was on the show or off the show. Um,
Mhm.
her story has literally kept people tuned in. She's
That's right. That's right. That's
And
right.
LaDonna's
So
spot on. LaDonna's spot on because I think they threw everything at her, Carlos, but now they see none of it worked. So if I
right.
can't beat them, let me join
Let
them.
me join them. Let
So
me
that
join
you
them.
spot on with that. He's like, wait a minute, I did everything I could. I did this, I did that. We had everyone trying to get against her, and it didn't work. So he's like, okay, I can't win, so let me go ahead and be nice with her.
And not only that, if I don't be nice with her, Kingdom Reign, what I'm trying to do will crumble. It will
Mhm.
crumble. That show has rate, it will crumble. So
Yep.
I need her. I need that boss. Okay.
And he didn't think we would be this powerful.
And
I
I'm all
honestly
for it.
think I think his head was still back in 2010 when social media, reality TV was in the infant stages.
Hmm.
Now we had the power. We know we have power, and he
Hmm.
didn't expect that. So, but I'm
Hmm.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I agree. And I'm all for it. Like I said, I work with a supervisor right now that I don't like. But guess what? When she come in the store, she walk by, hey, how are you? That's it. I don't go to her for nothing. She stay over there. She already know. Me and you ain't here, girl. She tried to mess with me one time, and I put her in her place one time. She ain't never crossed me again. But she know, and I know we don't mix. But we got to be here. I got bills to pay, just like you. So let's do what we came here to do, and just stay out my face. And that's how I keep it. I work with a lot of many jobs that I didn't like my boss or supervisor, and I don't mix it neither. But some people you just can't stand. They contradict their character, and Carlos is one of those people. And I'm gonna tell you why. I don't care about wanting ratings. I don't care about you being in a business of TV. You still should have some kind of a moral compass, no matter what. And I feel like what he has shown, not just from this show,
Mhm.
from his behavior on other shows, he was that crab in the bucket that stepped on people to climb to the top. And now that he's there, he's going to keep stepping on people to stay there. And that's fine because everything that goes up must come down. Mel got her own thing now. And slowly but surely, we're going to be over there watching reality shows on her stuff along with other things. I truly believe that. I think she's going to take that network to a whole nother level, and I'm here for it. But as long as I don't see, I'm moving at her beat because this is her life. And if Mel got her, she knows what she needs to do what she got to do for her life, and if she's successful in it, I'm all for it. If you got to KeKe, play it off, do it, because I think the best revenge is success. You ain't got to be crazy. You ain't got to boom bam. Your best revenge. Let them see you shine, baby, and they are. And inside, they're eating up. They are eating up like, wow. Why her?
Listen, she has a lot on her shoulders, and I'll say this: nobody has done it quite like that. She's
Yes.
is the only one.
Yeah, she's
Yep.
a first.
She carved a lane for herself,
Mm-hmm.
and she has let people see some things that
Mm-hmm.
people would have thought to be completely unachievable.
Yes.
Completely unachievable. In fact, there was a lot of her coworkers who said exactly that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember
Yeah.
Destiny?
Yes.
That doesn't
Mhm.
happen. That never happens.
Yeah. Like she got to be doing something
She got
else.
to be right. So the
Yeah.
bottom line is, everything is mind over matter.
Mm-hmm.
We get stuck because our mind says we can't.
Right.
We believe
Mhm.
that we can't, even though we can. And so it's just a matter of watching someone else do it to know that you can do it. Period.
Yes. Yeah, you learned something, like you said,
Mhm.
Diana. So, all right, enough about Mel. She's good. She's good. That Shirley Strawberry and them other women's. Let me tell you like this.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Shirley Strawberry and
First of all,
Lewis too, or just Shirley?
yeah, her too. I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you like this.
Okay.
We have a lot of women out there, young and old, that have low self-esteem or don't know their worth. I
Mhm.
believe certain men
Yes.
know who to zero in on.
LaDon, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna ask everybody on the panel: have you ever been having a bad day or something like heavy, like you're sad about something? Do you know how much attention you get when you're sad walking through the world?
Hmm.
Have you seen?
Mhm.
Have you noticed your energy when you are sad, downtrodden, trying to get to the store and just get something done? I cannot tell you the number of people who will come over and say
Yeah,
something, give me a phone number, something. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Men who do what that man does, you
Hmm.
looks like, and
Yeah.
you praise on them.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So and the thing that with Shirley is, okay, you apologized to Steve behind, and then you did it on the radio for whatever reason. The tape with your daughter, and you saying the things that you said about your daughter and let him say was out in public. Okay, we all heard the tapes, so therefore you're out in the opening to me. To
Yeah.
me, even if you
Mhm.
did it behind closed doors, you should also do it like you did with Steve, because
Yep.
her stuff,
Okay.
you letting a man call your daughter a b, and she jealous of you and pumping that in your head and all that. You should also apologize out in the opening to her, you know.
Mhm.
um but I feel like Shirley, where I'm really not really ready to give her graces, she didn't want to listen. You was willing to throw your daughter away for a man. You was willing to believe a man and take whatever he was saying over your daughter. Now, when you say people don't want to admit that other people were right, The first red flag is if it's more than 5, 6, 7, 8, then there's some fire where there's smoke. For one.
Mhm.
For two, soon as stuff started happening with the evictions or this or that, that was I wouldn't have. My thing is okay if you caught me, but as soon as something happens that I know that's just not right, I'm jumping out of there, and I'd rather you say to me, "I told you so." You sure did, and I got it now, but I'm out of there. Than to string it
Right.
along and lose everything in the process and continue to lose myself over and over, and people still knowing the whole time that he's full of crap without these charges, but still know it, and you're still living it every day. It makes it a lot worse for you to get out of it because you kept letting it go on. You're getting deeper, 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 so you're even more ashamed now. No, you got to
Mhm.
fight through that shame and get up out that situation. There's no excuse to stay in it. Oh, because of what people say. I don't care. I'm doing this for me. I got to get out because this is tearing me down. Ain't nobody else in my household. I don't care about what they say at this point. She's too old to care about what people think. But that goes to the low self-esteem.
But and I was
So
gonna say, but you're in a different group, and people literally are like they bury themselves in shame.
my
They
hope is my closure to this because I just, like I said, I'm on a fence with Shirley. I got to wait till after the trial. Do you remember that movie Guilt by Association?
who is in it?
And it's a true story. I forget it because it's like 10, 15 years old. But she was mad. She ended up going with this guy, and I think she ended up marrying him. But she had already had 2 kids, and he was selling weed, and she didn't know it. She thought he just smoked it. And then when they had cookouts, his friends would come over. They'll go in the garage, and she thinking, oh, they're smoking in there because she didn't smoke, but she didn't think anything. Sometimes when they're going out to eat or whatever, he say, "Oh, I gotta make a stop and drop something off to my friend Joe or whatever." She'll wait in the car. He'll get the bag out the trunk, run in the house, come back out. Sometimes the friends will call the phone. She'll answer. Hey, let me speak to so and so. Oh, so and so's on the phone. Oh, tell him what's up or whatever. Oh, he said meet him today at 6 or whatever. She will be on the phone saying that, but she don't know why they're meeting. She thinking business or whatever.
Mhm.
Don't you know when they went to court and they made a deal with the other people who originally got busted, they turned her in too and said they was at her house doing getting the stuff and she was involved and all that. She got more time than the actual people because they made a deal. And
Oh,
that woman didn't know
Oh,
anything.
wow.
She was in jail for
That's what I'm
15
talking about.
he was in jail for 15 years until the
Mm,
Harvard group or whatever, them law students that take pro bono cases
mm,
like they
mm,
did,
mm,
Hurricane, what's the name? They
mm.
came and they looked at her case and they said, we're going to fight for you because this is wrong. The woman didn't know nothing.
wow.
And don't you know, it took 15 years before she was able to get out after, fighting. And one of her kids, the son was okay, but the daughter, all through this, was having a rough time and ended up having real problems because living with her aunt and her mother in jail, all this stuff. But I'm saying about Shirley, she better be very careful and pray that she don't get roped up in his mess with
Mhm.
no fault at her
Exactly.
own for being so gullible and so dumb that
Yes.
she can allow her, not allow, but that she can actually get involved at no fault of guilt by association. That is a crime.
Mhm.
It's a
Yes.
crime all across
Yes.
the United States, you know?
Yes.
So I just really hope that she is really divorcing him because I don't know. Nobody came out with no papers yet, so I don't know. I hope it's true for her own sake and she hurry up and get it together and really to the women that's coming up, even the old biddies. Y'all need to get some self-esteem. Love yourself, big, tall, big, small, green. I don't care. Love
Right.
yourself and know your worth. There's always somebody for somebody. And I've been a widow for 2 years, and I'm still not in no rush. And I got my own place. I can have a man up in here anytime. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting on God to send me who He has for me. I'm too old to
Mhm.
be testing out the waters and I'm in my 50s. I ain't got time for that. If God send me somebody 5 years
100%
from now,
facts.
okay. If He
100%.
send me somebody 2 years from now, okay. But when He sends him, because I'm working on myself, I'm going to be okay when that person comes. But until then, I know I got some baggage. I pop off a little bit. I still got a little work. I'm still in therapy. You know what I'm saying? But I just want these women, younger girls coming up, love yourself, know your worth, because this too could be you. And is it worth it for a piece of dangalang? And let me tell you, love ain't enough in my book. I don't care about that four-letter word. Love ain't enough. I'm in love. I'm in love. Let me tell you
Mhm.
something. Love ain't enough without the action behind it. And love don't hurt.
You better
Love does
preach.
not hurt.
You better
People hurt
preach.
you.
Yep.
Love don't hurt.
I wish I had a
Mhm.
little white handkerchief so I can start fanning it like this. Okay, girl.
No, but she is speaking so much facts.
Fact.
The
Mhm.
participation possibly, and depending on who these prosecutors are, they can be nasty, and they
Oh
can
yeah.
just throw some charges on your behind so fast because you're associated with them, and you playing dumb and like you don't know why you getting evicted 5 times and why he's getting arrested. Come on, that's the
Look,
part that really makes me in
look, she
fear
said
for
she
her.
didn't know the co-defendant, but there's pictures of you having dinner with the co-defendant.
Thanksgiving
Like,
dinner.
stop it. Lady,
Exactly.
stop it. Just shut
Exactly.
up.
The co-defendant could have gone by a different name because she has several aliases.
Yeah, but that face ain't different.
Wow.
That face ain't different.
Face in that picture when they showed it on the news looked completely different from the
Huh?
face that was sitting that was.
Well,
Let,
that
let me
mug
tell you
shot,
something.
she gained a few pounds in that mug shot now.
Yeah, that's okay. But let me tell you,
Now,
when that
when
picture
he
first
said,
came out,
when he kind of confused her with her name Erica, I don't know the last name. Because I was like, he definitely knows the last name, but he was okay with not telling her who it was.
Right.
That was a scam right there because I was like, you know her damn last name, especially if you brought her to your wife's house for dinner,
Mm-hmm.
you know the last name. But he was the
right?
one who was pretending like it was somebody else, trying to make it seem like it was bigger than what it is. It's King Ass.
That's
Exactly.
right, Diana. He
Exactly.
knew. That's right. He's just a stinking jerk, man.
He is.
Woo!
Mhm.
He is.
But
But yeah,
But
yeah.
this is a cautionary tale. This is such
sure.
a cautionary tale. You have got, I don't know, and I get the whole pride and not wanting to share, this downfall with her friends and family, but it comes a time you got to save yourself, and
Mhm.
so that's what makes me feel kind of like, did she know and just ignored it just because? I mean, she don't get this old and not think and heard the story. She's heard stories like this before. She could have jumped out way ahead of time. So I don't know. I don't want to go there and say that maybe she had a little hand in it and did, yeah, but it just doesn't add up. But
I
everything
think
that
she
Don
just put
just
the
said is
blinders on.
facts.
I think she did. I think she felt like, okay, something might be a little crooked, but I don't know what, and I'd rather not know. You
Yeah.
Right.
know, I think that's how it was with her. Because he look the way he talked to her. He talks to her like they ain't married. He talked to Sonya more in a loving and sexual and all
Gives
that way
more,
than
he gives
Right.
more detail.
yeah.
With her,
Mhm.
it's very on the top, on the
Yes.
surface conversation. I can't even
Yes.
talk to you right now. Oh, okay, don't.
Yes.
And when she's real quick
Yeah.
to say, okay, don't say anything. Then she doesn't even want to talk to the lawyers, so that tells you where
Hmm.
she doesn't want to know.
She does it. She wants to stay in the and you know, and then we got to say too, Diana, there's different characters in everybody, men, women. There are just some natural born bobbleheads.
For sure.
That
100%.
that can also be a possibility. Maybe she's just a natural born bobblehead. I don't know, but she's been married in a family that had drug addiction and all that. Daryl Strawberry and all that, so she knows the ins and the outs of some things. She may not know how they go about doing certain things, but she's not that. You know what I mean? Naive to
Right.
certain things.
You're right. There is sometimes people say, I'm not that person. I like to know everything. If
Hmm.
it's something, I want to know it.
Right.
I will do. I'm the sneaky. I'm looking through shit to find it.
Yes.
I need my brain has to stop going because it
Yeah.
keep going until I figured it out. But
Yeah.
that's just me. But I also know that's not everybody. There's some people
Right.
sit in it. And I'm like, well, let me find out for you.
Child.
That's
My
me.
grandmother had 17 kids and mostly girls, and there was different characters in all of them. And let me tell you, there's some natural born bobbleheads that it just goes as plain as that. That's just like, okay.
I said the same thing. My grandmother had 11, mostly girls. And listen, the girls were gangsters.
Yep, they're worse than the boys.
Yep.
Yep.
Worse than the boys.
Yep.
Worse than the boys. We've seen some things. When I be telling my husband stuff, he's like, who the, what? Y'all should
Yep.
be American Greed.
Yep.
The stories, man, for sure. I could write a book today. But yes,
All
ma'am.
right, I'm done with my mouth.
All right, y'all. Well, I said I was going to let you close us out. We've been up for about 2 hours. This has been an amazing conversation. If you guys missed it, if y'all coming in late, go back and listen to it from the beginning. We've talked about a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, it's just interesting. So for the most part, it sounds like nobody wants to be called a melodrop.
Oh no.
No, hell to
No.
no. Hell to no. Nope.
A melodrop, but we'll see what happens by the end of the season. It looks like a
But
very
Diana, I can't wait for Tisha to get that water thrown in her face. I really can't. I'm looking forward to that.
it's a promising season. That's drama. It's a promising season so far. I know y'all was saying we know how they cut the scenes to make it look one way and it's something different.
That's all right.
The first episode, everything that they gave us as a preview, it
Mm-hmm.
it came through just the way it
I'm
looked.
excited because I think the first episode was lighter to me because it wasn't in every scene, every household, Mel, 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 Mel. I
Okay.
just hope it don't become kiki, 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 but
It
it
feels
does
like
seem
everybody
lighter.
has their
So,
So we know KeKe has her weight. We're going to see. We're actually if y'all think about it, they're actually giving us a storyline for everybody. Melody and her getting her redemption, her chance to say this storyline that has been going online and offline is bullshit with Martell.
right.
People are finally holding Martell's feet to the fire and letting him know
Mm-hmm.
play too much. You
Right.
manage your friendships. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany and what's his name, Lewis. Their
Mm-hmm.
relationship is on Front Street.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is it? And Tisha and Marcel.
No, Tisha and also don't got no storyline. Stop it, Diana.
Right.
It's a lie. She ain't
Let's,
pregnant and no cheater.
let's not say the baby thing, but in regards to everybody saying to them, you are constantly putting shit out there when y'all know y'all doing other stuff to cover
Right.
things up.
But
Yes.
Courtney checked Marcel.
Huh?
Yes, you're right,
Courtney
Diana.
checked Marcel.
That's what I'm saying. Courtney checking Marcel and
I was
saying
loving it.
I
constantly,
was too.
putting yourself, injecting yourself into stuff when you got shit you should be thinking about on the other side.
That's right.
KeKe do that as well. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be, and even on the sly, Kimmy saying, listen, you decided to make these payments, you decided to charge people afterward. But what happened in this event that all of a
But why
sudden
she didn't say that to Tisha?
she
She
should have?
she
But
should have said that to Tisha face
I'm
because it
okay,
was just wrong.
and you're right, 100%. But I'm okay with her saying it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with her saying it because now we can hear how this
Mm-hmm.
plays out. Whether you say it or not, she may have not have said it to Tisha, like, well, what was y'all
But
expenses?
it's making a conversation about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. Maybe she didn't say it to her, or maybe she did and they just didn't play it, with editing. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, for her to go to her husband and say, listen, didn't shit change? The building was the same. I already paid for this. Whatever these fees are already happened. Why are
Mhm.
you charging people on the back end saying
Mm-hmm.
that your costs went up?
Mhm.
That's a lie. And
And you can't. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, and that is a lot of what we have been asking. Like, what are y'all doing? Why do y'all
Mm-hmm.
always make things seem like it's something else after
Right.
the fact? And so
Right.
that's a good story to have. And even Melody coming to him and saying, "Listen, Tisha ain't gonna cry when she leaves us." I was
Mm-hmm.
all of it.
Yeah. And
Right. Yep. I can't
and
wait.
about Stormy, I ain't Stormy. I'm not checking for Stormy at all yet. Right.
Mhm.
So I say that to say, but I still don't think she was wrong for having the space she did because not only did they say anything about the money, they
No,
didn't say how you
Right.
were
They didn't even
supposed to
say
set up.
nothing.
They didn't say square feet, nothing, how much you can use. They didn't say anything. They said, show up. We need you for the community.
They brought her in at the last damn minute. She was doing a favor when she should have
Right.
been at her place doing what she
Yes.
did for her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing something as a friend. I think
Mm-hmm.
that is showing y'all take advantage of friendships.
Yes.
Like I
Yeah.
like I told y'all when I gave y'all a review, it felt different. The energy
Mm-hmm.
around the show felt different. I don't know if they
Yes.
reproduced it,
Mm-hmm.
but it felt different. And I
Yeah.
think that I couldn't predict everything.
Mm-hmm.
It showed us everything. It
Yeah.
was some stuff that was still out there, like, oh, this makes me want to see what happened next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm for it. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm still here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we don't talk about it every
Mm-hmm.
freaking day, every time it comes. So anywho, you guys have been great. You always are. I appreciate you. Every time you come in and show up for me, thank you to everybody in the chat who kept it lively. Thank you to all of my moderators. Y'all know I appreciate you guys for showing up. I am going to do a better job of making this announcement so I can bring you guys in. But things it all went well. But anyway, you guys
Thank you for having us.
all the anytime.
Yeah.
I hope
Thank
y'all
you, ladies.
and
Thank you.
Bye, Diana. Ciao.
honey. Bye. If y'all
Bye.
didn't come up this time around, I hope you come up the next time. We're gonna keep it moving. But outside of that, hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Hit your notification bells, okay, if you haven't done that. And I will check you all on the next one.